Right friends, welcome back to 6th capsule. We are going to deliberate on two important aspects, that is the BEPS and AEOI. Previously, some time back, we discussed about base erosion and profit shifting, and today we are going to deliberate on these two aspects, why they assumed significance is several multinational corporations are resorting to tax avoidance and sometimes tax evasion. Technically, using tax evasion may not be correct. Tax avoidance is the right word to use because of the reason tax evasion is deliberately not paying taxes, it is illegal, whereas tax avoidance is looking at the loopholes in the system and accordingly avoiding payment of taxes is tax avoidance. Tax avoidance is totally legal, but it is unethical. So there is a dividing line between tax evasion as well as tax avoidance, and some of the multinational corporations are resorting to various practices to avoid payment of tax, right? So to control that, various mechanisms are being evolved nowadays and basically piloted by OECD group of countries, right? So we are going to deliberate on these two aspects. And sometimes I may be using tax evasion as well as tax avoidance both in the lecture or you can say in the PPTs, but most of the times the practice adopted by various multinational companies amounts to tax avoidance. Strictly it is not tax evasion, but it is tax avoidance, but sometimes they may resort to tax evasion also. So that's why I used deliberately this tax evasion oblique tax avoidance, but technically speaking tax avoidance is the right word because they use or they look at various loopholes in the system to reduce their tax incidence, right? So here BEPS stands for base erosion and profit shifting. AEOI stands for automatic exchange of information, and these two are piloted by the OECD group of countries. OECD is basically Paris based organization. India is not a member of OECD, please remember, and BEPS is basically the mechanism adopted by the multinational corporations to shift their profits to the low tax destinations or popularly known as tax havens. Let us first deliberate on BEPS, then let us switch over to AEOI, right? Multinational corporations. What is the meaning of multinational corporation? Multinational corporation, all of you are familiar with PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, P&G, Citibank. These are all multinational corporations. They will have headquarters in one country, they will be based in one country, but they will have manufacturing facilities or offices in more than one country. And a company is classified as multinational corporation when it derives at least 25% of their revenues from the operations outside their home country. If some company is based in India, if at least 25% of their revenue comes from their manufacturing units abroad, then the company can be termed as a multinational corporation, right? So as I have already explained you, tax avoidance, how the multinational companies are resorting to tax avoidance. Before learning, let us have clear idea about tax avoidance. Tax avoidance is minimization of tax liability by taking unfair advantage of the shortcomings in the tax laws. They look at the loopholes in the system, how to exploit the situation. Technically it is illegal, and you can say it is finding new methods or tools to avoid the payment of the taxes. This is tax avoidance. Tax evasion is deliberately not paying the taxes, and that is illegal, right? And let us look at how the multinational companies are resorting to tax avoidance. The process is known as base erosion and profit shifting. Here, multinational companies shift the profits. They have their operations in large countries like India, They have their operations in large countries like India, and subsequently what they will do, they will shift the profits to low tax destinations by one way or the other. The low tax destinations where the tax may be 0.5%, 0.25%, or some of the destinations have got zero tax also, they will take only fee. So they are shifting the profits to low tax destinations or no tax destinations, which are known as tax havens. The countries survive because of its tax haven status. What is tax haven? Tax haven is the territory where taxes are levied at abysmally low rates. Example I have given here: Cayman Islands, Bermuda, Panama, Luxembourg, Mauritius, Cyprus. These are all examples of tax havens. And how do they shift their profits? In the tax havens, basically no economic activity. Basically from big countries by multinational corporations, the profits are shifted. How the profits are shifted? Profits are shifted in the name of intellectual property rights, patent rights, fees, documentation, transfer pricing, royalties. Like that they shift the profits. Subsequently they escape, neither paying taxes here nor there. They are happy if they get 0.5% or 0.25% of the tax because no economic activity there. Only they are collecting fee or 0.25% tax as they are shifting huge profits there. Right? So who are the losers? Losers are big countries like India. And as per the OECD estimate, 4% to 10% of the entire corporate tax is lost world over due to BEPS, and annual loss is put at $100 billion to $240 billion in various countries. And to reduce the incidence of base erosion and profit shifting, nowadays India is going for changing the protocols of double taxation avoidance agreements. Recently, double taxation avoidance agreement with Mauritius was revised. Similarly with Cyprus, Mauritius, please don't forget, almost 33% of FDI during the past 15 years came from Mauritius. That's why Government of India recently modified the protocol of DTAA with Mauritius as well as Cyprus, and as per the revised DTAA, now in future from April 1, 2017, the tax will be source based, not residence based. When economic activity is there in India, that will be taxed in India only. Right? This will happen from April 1, 2017. And look at another mechanism, that is automatic exchange of information. Previously, various countries used to exchange information based on the request. Previously, when India is asking some other country to give information, then only they are giving. But in future, what will happen? It will be automatic. The information will be automatic from now onwards, and for that purpose, countries are signing multilateral competent authority agreement. India also signed multilateral competent authority agreement, and it reduces the possibility of tax avoidance. And this standard was developed by OECD and G20 countries jointly. And what about India? India in the month of June 2015 joined this multilateral competent authority agreement on automatic exchange of financial account information. Right? Here, common reporting standards are evolved, because when you have to understand the information sent by other country, the country should have common reporting standards or CRS. So here, please don't forget, multilateral competent authority agreement is for automatic exchange of tax related information. That is one part, and the other part is for automatic exchange of tax related information. Common reporting standards are to be evolved, and from 2017 onwards, India is expected to get automatic exchange of information from the signatories to MCAA. Right, friends, this is all about BEPS as well as automatic exchange of information. Basically, these are the tools to reduce the incidence of tax avoidance followed by multinational corporations. Right? Not only this, because of this automatic exchange of information, tax evasion can also be minimized, right? Have a nice day. This is the last capsule for 49th week. Please do join for other capsules and modules. Have a nice day. Thank you.